how's it going guys? Welcome to my channel. I'm Sykes, and today I want to talk to you about how lighting can enhance your videos. Contrary to popular belief, the camera isn't what makes your videos, it's the lighting. Even though this is shot on a $3,000 camera with an $800 lens attached, it still doesn't look very good, does it? You can try and fix this in post, but it'll still look shit. So I want to show you how you can turn a video that looks like this into something like this. Whether it's photography, videography, film, or art, once you realize how important lighting is, you'll start to dramatically enhance your videos. Lighting can change the look, the feel, and the quality of your video. If you're a business, these aspects of content are what define your brand. So taking advantage of this can help your brand stand out from the rest. It can also take your production value to a more professional status. I'm a freelance videographer and I worked for a production company in Sydney that traveled all across Australia and even to other countries around the globe. So these are just some of the tips and tricks that I know that I implement with every single client that I work with. Now, I know, and as many of you would know, that lighting can be expensive. But from my experience, lighting should be the first thing that you invest in to make your videos look better. So today I want to show you two different ways that you can use to light your videos. One way is a cheap and affordable way, and the other way is more traditional and would cost a bit of money, but in my opinion looks better. YouTubers, cinematographers, high-end videographers, the main reason why they look so consistent is because they control all of the aspects of light. For this video here, if I was to turn off every single light, all you're gonna see is just a black screen. So I'll do that now. So you can still see there's a sort of light leaking here. It doesn't actually dramatically affect my frame. All of the other lights that I have in this room are what affect the frame. Now we have that out of the way, I want to talk to you about the different lights that I have in this room that set up this shot. So the first light I'm going to talk about is the key light. Now the key light is this light here, my main source of light that lights up my face. So I'm going to turn off the other lights here. The reason why this is the key light is because this is the brightest light that is in the frame. Say if I was shooting a music video, maybe my key light might be back here because I want a silhouette look, and that's my brightest light in this frame here. Your key light has nothing to do with the light that's at the front. Your key light is your brightest light in the frame. Let's talk about our fill light. So I'm going to turn off the lights again. We've got the key light, and now this is our fill light because it's filling in all the shadows that are on this side of the face. I still keep this side darker and it has a bit more shadow in it, but essentially it's filling those shadows. That's why it's called the fill light, because it's filling the extra shadows that I want filled in the frame. I'll actually take a video of what I'm seeing in this frame. So that's me there, so I can see that that's my, my frame there, and then this is my key light. Right, so I got my light, then diffuser makes it look good, and then my fill light is I'm shooting this light straight into a bounce card, and that bounce card is filling the right side of my face. Now the last light I want to talk about is the background light. Background light is what's adding that color into it's sort of adding a bit of a halo around my head. It's lighting up the background with a different color light. So even if I wanted to go into this light and I wanted to make this specific light, I wanted to make it white, 5600 Kelvin, make it white, and it's a different look, right? So this light that I'm using at the back is a colored light, but even if you wanted to get a look like this, you could use a light that's the same color temperature as your key light and your fill light, and you put that light in the background and that lights your back. So there's two different things that you could do with this. So if you've only got 3 lights, this is a sort of setup that I would do where I'd light up the background. If I was to put it here in the frame, it's shooting on me like this, right? And now I have a hair light. So this hair light is what separates me from the background. So it gives me, you know, a bit of separation on my shoulder here. You can see that this part is more outlined. That black part of the shirt doesn't just fade into the background. So this is a main 3-point lighting here, is where you've got your key, your fill, and then a hair light or a rim light. Some people call it a rim light, hair light, it's all the same thing. Or put it back there, and then I have it as my background light. I prefer this sort of look because it gives more character to your background. So if I was to go back here into color and then I make that a blue again, there you go. I got a really cool look. Can make it red, can make it pink, can make it green, whatever your look that you want to go for. I like this, you know, teal sort of color blue. So I stick with that. Now this setup that I have going on here is over $1,000 setup. You don't have to spend this much on a lighting setup like this. Now there's some cheaper lighting setups that you can get, and I'll link some down below. I used to use literally $130 3-pack of lights that are just softbox lights. It's a cheap way to invest and get a better lighting setup for your videos. That is a basic lighting setup where I control all of the different lights in the scenario. So now we're going to jump into a lighting setup that you could do when you don't have access to lights, or you only have a minimal access to lights. So we'll give that a go right now. Hey, so this is the second lighting setup that I'm going to show you. Basically what I've got going on is there's a big window here, and that is my key light. So it's my brightest light because it's from the sun. So if you have no actual lights, there's no way that you can compete with the sun. So always make your sun your key light, but you also don't want to stand just like right next to a window that has like this harsh light coming in. So that's why I have a big curtain. It's a white curtain, and it sort of just diffuses the light a lot. And then on this side I have a piece of foam board. It's just a white piece of foam board that reflects some of the sunlight back onto this side of the face. And then in the background I've got some lights turned on from the kitchen, and then that's sort of my backlight that just lights up the background. This setup costs absolutely $0, and you can see it looks great. The only thing with this setup is that if you're going to do some jump cuts, so maybe you'd be talking about this and then you want to say something like this, obviously that light has changed in the 20 seconds that I waited to say that extra line. That's the only problem with this lighting setup, is that if you have something that's just like this, you have to get used to just speaking to the camera without stopping and without being able to do a lot of jump cuts, because if you do a lot of jump cuts, it would just be changing all the time and it'd be very jarring for your viewer. But yeah, 0 lights in this setup, and cost maybe $5 if you want to pick up a foam board. But other than that, also I'll take a little video so you can see what I'm seeing in this part here. So that's me on the camera there, and then I just have this curtain that's up here. It's a white curtain diffusing a lot of the light coming through, and then this piece of foam board on a light stand. But yeah, so that's the whole setup. I'll jump back into the other setup because I prefer that one better. There you go. Those are 2 easy lighting setups that you can do if you have the money and you have the reason to invest in lighting. I would say do it, because obviously it gives a lot better look. But if you're just starting out, invest in, maybe a cheaper set of lights or something at first to know that that's what you want to do. But definitely think about upgrading, because sometimes it's not also just the light that you use, it's also the quality of the light that you use. I know this from experience that you always want to buy nice or you buy twice. If you don't want to invest in lights and you want to do vlogs and things like that, you want to do things outdoors and you don't see the reason to have lights, my main tip for this is, rather than just setting up the camera and shooting and wanting to get it all onto the camera, have just that small step back and look and say, well, where is the sun in the sky? Where would be the best light coming from? Maybe you could invest in a $20 diffuser, like something that I've got here as well. So I'll link that below too. And you might want to just put a quick diffuser up and diffuse that sunlight and make it a lot softer, and you can shoot outdoors and it'll look amazing. Thanks guys, thanks for listening. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.